Good day, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Summit Sessions podcast. I'm your host, Caitlin Natalie Laurent, and today with me I have Mrs. Jamie Ferriman, who is the founder and CEO of Brie Candles Shop, which is a brand born out of deep love and profound loss. It was named in the honor of her daughter Bridget, who passed away in 2022. Brie Candles Shop isn't just about candles and bath products, it's about memory, healing, and creating something meaningful that carries light even in the darkest seasons. Mrs. Jamie Ferriman, how are you this evening?
I'm doing wonderful. Thank you. How are you?
I am great. Thank you for asking. I want to thank you for being on the Summit Sessions podcast. And to start, can you just tell us the story behind the Brie Candle Shop and what inspired you to create it?
Like you mentioned, in 2022, lost our one of our. We have four kids, and we lost our middle oldest, Bridget, uh, unfortunately to her own hand. It is some tidal waves of grief and everything throughout the entire family, of course. And I was getting lost myself. And my husband told me I need to basically get a hobby, find something to do to distract my mind to make the healing process better and easier on me. And so one day I was sitting on the couch, just going through news and stuff, trying to find a hobby, and candle making came up. And I saw where a high schooler basically started making candles and sold like $1 million his first year. And I went, well, I'm not doing it for the money, but candle making, I mean, okay, that's intriguing because I absolutely love candles. And one of the favorite pastimes that her dad and I and Bridget would do when we go out shopping, we'd stop by at a candle store and spend hours and hours smelling every candle at least 2, 3 times just to make sure it's the one we liked. So whenever I read that story, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to start doing that. So I started researching, buying material, and it was basically just to give me something to do. And I was doing it for our house. I didn't plan on it being anything more than that. And then next thing I know, my friends came over. They're like, "Hey, you're making candles. These smell good. Let me try them." And they started. I was just giving them because it was giving me a purpose. At that point in time, it felt like a purpose. And then next thing I know, my coworkers started finding out about it, and it just started spreading like wildfire. And I was getting overwhelmed with the acceptance I was getting from my candles. And I was telling my husband, I was like, Bridget, she was a people person. She absolutely loved people. She wanted to be in the medical field her entire life. The year before she passed, she was actually becoming a CNA, and she wanted to keep going as a phlebotomist, and she was looking into doing all this. And so I wanted to take her passion of helping people and turn it into my own to make it keep going. A little side note is when she passed, she was an organ donor. She saved 3 people's lives that day. And that is so unselfish. And that made me so proud of her. Sorry.
You're okay.
But I wanted to keep her passion for helping people alive. And so I told my husband, I was like, how would you feel if I started selling these and donating part of the proceeds to a charity for people that are in her situation that she was in mentally, finding resources or just getting help for, the worst case scenario happens. And he said, he goes, I think that would be the best thing you could do for her. And so every year, at the very end, whenever I find out however much I sold, I donate part of the proceeds to one particular charity, and it's all in her name. And I'm actually looking into another charity that Stephanie with IOTP, she mentioned one that was dear to her. And so I'm looking into it to expand the donations.
Now, would you mind sharing with the viewers as well what foundation it is that you actually donate to? That way our viewers can contribute as well.
So the one that I've been donating to is the American Society Suicide Prevention Awareness Program. I'm pretty sure I'm not saying that title completely right. I don't actually post their name on my website because I'm not under contract with them, and I don't want anybody coming to me and saying, "Hey, you know, you can't claim this." But it's just that's where I am donating to once a year. And Stephanie Sarami, she told me, I think it's Save the Light or something like that. I can't quite remember the name of it. I'm still looking into it. She said it's very dear to her, and it's also has to do with suicide awareness.
That is absolutely amazing, and I want to just extend my condolences to you
Thank
because
you.
losing a family member, especially when it comes to suicide, is not easy.
No,
It's
it
not.
is. It is the roughest way to lose someone, I believe.
I can
So
tell you, I can say this, that Bridget is definitely smiling down on you and what you're doing.
thank you.
And I'm pretty sure that if she were right by your side, she would be your biggest cheerleader.
That
You know,
and she would literally be right here helping me.
and that, you know what, I can honestly say that is a blessing that you are doing something and keeping the memory, especially doing something that you both enjoy doing, not in the sense of making candles, but smelling them, because it is fun going into a candle store and smelling all the candles.
Yes, it is. And it's like, ooh, new flavors, ooh, new scents. I know it sounds kind of corny, but it is. It's actually a lot of fun experiencing. And the candles also do wonders for other people. It bring back memories. And I love that.
Now, I do have to ask you, what is your favorite scent?
Oh boy. Does it have to be one?
No, it doesn't have to be one. I know, I mean, who in this world has just one favorite scent?
I haven't met one yet, but I know there's got to be at least one.
Sure, there is, but everyone that I've met, they usually have at least about between 10.
Yeah, at least. So, yeah. So, season, every holiday, I discover a new fragrance. Now, I can go by basically seasonal, like my spring. My top two, one of them is called Texas Spring. That's what I named it. It's called Texas Spring, and it's lavender and lemonade. Yeah, I absolutely love lavender. I love vanilla, your basics. I never really thought that lavender and lemonade would smell so clean and just so it's freshening. It's some of most of these fragrances I just can't really explain other than, it's musky, it's clean. It just smells like spring. And then my next favorite one is probably, I just created it as well. I called it Mother Nature, and it is arugula and French market combined. I know it's a very unique fragrance. I never thought in a million years that arugula would go with anything, but
Yeah.
I love experimenting, and I literally just started picking up bottles, trying to figure out what it would go with, and I smelt them together, and it literally takes you to where you feel like you're surrounded by Mother Nature. You can smell the earth, you can smell the air, you can smell the grass, the plants in your garden. It's just literally like stepping into a room built by Mother Nature. And then I probably want to say my favorite fall, I called it autumn. I think it was autumn leaves. Now, I mean, it's been about 4 months since I've messed with it, but it's the fragrance leaves. Everybody who has gone to a particular candle store, and I can't name names, they'll recognize the name leaves. It literally just smells like autumn. You can't explain that. The crisp, it's a little bit of fruity, the sweet from the baking. It's a very satisfying aroma to smell.
Yes, I would. It definitely is. I know I look forward to autumn, just not only for the different colored leaves,
Yeah.
but that smell. And then of course it's always fall is like baking season. So you
Yeah.
open the window in the kitchen and you're baking and you just get that mixture of nature plus whatever's being baked. So I'm sitting here and I'm like, I can smell that. I can smell that candle.
So good. I wound up making sugar scrubs and soap and everything like that with that fragrance because it was just, and I did that for me because I loved it so much. I'm like, I want to bathe in this. I want to smell like this. And so I wound up creating it and I sold out because everybody loved it.
If it smells anything like what we just described, I see why that would definitely sell out. Now, you've turned grief into a deeply meaningful and creative endeavor, which I have to give you many props for.
Thank you.
What has that healing journey looked like for you as a founder and as a parent?
It's honestly, it's kind of hard to separate the two. As a founder, I wound up appealing to more people by creating it from a tragic, tragic event. Once, because people would come to me and talk to me, is like, what made you get into business? I would give the backstory, and they would automatically just start buying candles. Not only because of the fragrance and the appearance, but because the story behind the candles. And also, something that I haven't mentioned is every name that is on a candle means something in her life. I have like the people that were in her life, like her best friends, her siblings, me, her parents. I just have candles named after those people and particular memories of those. Best example is Poppy's Garage. It is mahogany teak wood, and Poppy was my dad, and we always hung out in his garage all the time. And so I wanted to capture that memory, and I used it with a mahogany teak wood because my dad would always be building something. And so I wanted that smell of wood to kind of coincide with the name. So if you go through my candles, you'll see names, you'll see sayings. One of her favorite saying was "Ayo." It's a weird saying, but
Very weird.
anytime she got excited, it was so cute. She's like, "Ayo." That was her. She was always excited about everything. So I would capture her little sayings, her favorite colors. She absolutely loved elephants and sea turtles. And so I made candles like that. It's just every aspect of her life is poured into these candles. And when customers find out about that, they're like, oh, there's a backstory, not only behind Brie candles, but behind every candle. It just intrigued them more because they wanted to know more. And then at the end of a transaction, I'll let them know, hey, part of these proceeds also goes to, and I would mention, and they're like, oh my God, now I want to buy two. So it's one, keeping her memory alive, and two, still helping people as far as people in her situation. That's the aspect behind the business part. As far as a parent, it does help a lot. It helps her memory stay alive for us. Now, I'll be honest, it's hard coming up with another name for the candle sometimes because I'm literally replaying her life in my head, trying and seeking another candle that I can name after her. And those memories do hit, and I do cry. and I take the moment and I accept the grief. I process the grief. And then I'm like, okay, you can't stay here. You got to keep moving, because she was so selfish. She would actually be really, really mad at me if she found out how long I grieved. I'm still grieving, and it'll be 3 years next month. And well, May 20th. So I don't know how, I don't know. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I got
It's a
lost in
hard
my own
process.
little.
You are absolutely fine. It is a hard process, and I'm sure I'm not the only one that can definitely sympathize with you, because I too am someone who has lost someone to suicide, and it's not easy. It's really,
It is so hard. I'm so sorry.
it is. It is. I lost my mom to suicide, and it was weird because the day that she decided to take her life, I had spoken with her that morning. And she was actually supposed to come over. We were supposed to make one of my favorite dinner dishes that she used to always make when I was a kid. Because I had just moved into my own place. So she was going to come over and help decorate, and then we were going to cook and watch TV together. So I can say I definitely sympathize with you. And it's not easy. I have my days, just like you. I have my days. It's been, I can't even think of year. It's been quite a few years since she's done it. But when that date comes up, it's like, oof, tough day.
Mine hit, it was May 21st, and my starts hitting around the end of March because her birthday was in April, and it just starts hitting. Well, to make matters worse, in the last 3 years, we have lost a lot of family members. It started with Bridget, May 21st. The following year, my aunt, we lost her May 1st. And then last year, February 17th, we lost my 97-year-old grandmother. And then April 3rd of last year, we lost my dad. And and none of it was from natural causes. And so that's why I can actually say the hardest way to lose somebody is by suicide. And my heart reaches for you, because I'm so sorry.
It's like I said, I sympathize with you. It's not an easy process. We put on a smile and get through the day. So if
Yes, we do.
you break down in tears during this, you are absolutely fine. No need to apologize, because I get it. And I
I'm
commend you
trying
for
to.
being so strong. You know what? You're human. You are human. So it is okay. We have our times where we have to be strong and tough, but then there's also those times where it's like, you know what? I don't want to be tough and strong right now. I want to be emotional. So you know what? Let me be emotional.
Those are movie days. I'll actually go find one of her favorite movies, and I'll sit there and watch one of her movies that she loved. One of them that I'm pretty sure everybody knows is Fault in Our Stars.
Love that movie. I love that movie.
Such a good movie. So I'll sit there and turn it on, and I'll just bawl my little heart out. And then I'll get up, basically dust myself off, and go, okay, here we go.
That's cute. You're gonna laugh when I tell you what my mother and it's nothing that is of like good feeling, makes you want to cry. It's actually horror, and it's the I think it's called The Orphan.
She loved that movie too. Yes, I know that movie. Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, that is
When that came out, I think it was when that came out, when it finally aired on TV, there was a day where and this was before the streaming apps, but it was playing on HBO, on like the different HBO stations, like back to back. My mother and I spent a whole day locked in her condo, and we just kept watching it.
Hey, is nothing wrong with that.
It was
Nothing
a
wrong with
rainy
that
day.
at
We
all.
didn't want to go anywhere in the rain, so
Oh yeah.
just veg out and watch TV.
We have movie nights or movie days, whatever you want to call it, where we'll just sit down and binge. Our family loves movies so much that we actually have our own theater room, and all of our kids, because we love movies so much. So our kids, I'm like, hey, they're like, what are you having for dinner? And I'm like, popcorn and M's. They're like, good night. I'm like, yes. They're like, can we come over? I'm like, of course, come on. and we'd all just sit there and lounge out in our movie room and just watch movies. And next thing I know, we're all waking up, passed out in the movie room.
You know what? That's a good place to fall asleep.
And you get your best
With
sleep.
yes, you do. With your popcorn residue and candy, crumbs and everything.
In your hair.
And you know what? You don't have to worry about an usher coming in and shining a flashlight in your face going, you gotta go. You're home.
Like, really? Yeah. Those are one of my very fondest memories that I still cherish with our kids. And I can't wait till Bridget actually had 2 babies. And so I can't wait till they're old enough to where they can come over and we can have movie nights with them. I'm excited about that.
That is awesome. Now, if I may ask, how old are the babies?
The oldest, her son is 5, and her youngest daughter, she just turned 3.
Ages, I want to be 5 again. I want to be 3. I want to be all the ages again.
I want to be a cat. I can lay around all day long. No responsibilities. But yes, I love our grandbabies are absolutely the best gifts we've ever gotten. And it is just so much fun seeing life in a new aspect from them. It kind of reminds you life is simple. Enjoy it.
Yes, because tomorrow's not guaranteed. The rest of today's not guaranteed.
5 minutes from now, you don't know.
Exactly. You got to live your life to your fullest. And that is what you are doing.
I'm trying.
Living your life to your fullest. No, you're not trying. You are doing, because you are living it every day.
Yes. In that aspect, I do see your point.
Now, I want to dive into use natural ingredients, but you've come out with like pretty much bath products because of the fact that you do have a son who has sensitive skin.
Yes.
And again, when it comes to this, I sympathize with this because ever since after I gave birth to my beautiful daughter, my skin has changed. Well, everything about me has changed. There are foods that I used to eat nonstop and enjoy and love that now I can't eat anymore because I've developed an allergy to it. And the same thing with my skin. There are products that I used to use for years and I can't anymore because it irritates my skin. So in that sense, how did you come about creating a sensitive skin line? Because I have to imagine that can't be easy. Did you do it based off your son?
Basically, the way I came up with it, I did a lot of research trying to figure out exactly what most people are allergic to. And it's words that I still to this day cannot pronounce.
Well, I know that a lot of products, they are heavy in sulfates and parabens and
all those words and preservatives, all those ingredients that they actually cause a lot of problems with people that are sensitive to almost anything. And so I was like, okay, well, how can I create? Because at first it was starting with just like a bath soak. Because my son, he's a CNA as well. And well, not now, but I don't know how to explain that. He's of management, but he still plays the role of a CNA when called upon. So he would work 12, 16 hours and hurt so bad that all he wanted to do was just come home and soak in a tub. And he know like Epsom salt and stuff like that would help relieve his sore muscles and any inflammation he might get throughout the day. And he would do bath bombs and stuff like that and found out he wound up being allergic to them. He would literally come out of the tub like he just stepped out of like a fire. He just came from down below. That's the way to explain it.
Mm-hmm.
Like he got sunburned from the heat from down below kind of thing. But he would literally come out looking like a lobster and itching so bad that we would wind up doing like an oatmeal kind of paste or something just to calm him down. So he looks at me one day, he's like, Mom, have you ever considered making bath products? I'm like, yeah, I have, especially because of you. He goes, can you please? He goes, I'm running out of options. He goes, it is getting difficult for me to find things. I'm like, let me do my research. I will get on it. And with a month later, I started making bars of soap. And I'm like, all right, you need to try this. Most of my soaps are made with triple butter, which is mango butter, shea butter, and cocoa butter. And it has no sulfate, no preservatives, none of those really long words. And I went to my supplier and I'm like, all right, I'm making soaps. I need fragrances that I can put in soaps because essential oils also causes problems with certain people. So do fragrance oils. And so I'm like, I know essential oils, I'm good for the people that can use them. I was like, but when it comes to my fragrance oils, I said, I need the ones that are safe for the body, that there's no chemicals or anything like that that people could have an allergic reaction to. And they're like, all right, I got you. And they want to give me a list of their entire line of fragrances that are safe for the body to use. So what I wound up doing is implementing those into everything. If it is not safe for the body to use, I don't use it in my candles, anywhere across the board. And the reason why I did that for the candles is I actually have friends, and I've been told by customers that they use my candles. They'll dip like their finger or something in the melted wax and use it as lotion. I know, I never thought of that. But if you remember, people that go and get massages, they use wax, they use the hot oil wax. And I'm like, okay, well, that is the concept. So I geared my candles a little bit more to compensate for people that do that. So after I created a couple bars of soap, I asked my son to come over. I'm like, all right, DJ, I said, you need to come here. I got something for you. And he would come over and I would hand him this. He's like, what is this? I'm like, it's the soap I've made. I need you to go home, try it for a week. Let me know how it works. He's like, all of them? I'm like, yeah, all of them. I need them all tested. He's like, all right. A week later, he's like, Mom, I am absolutely in love with your soap. I did not have any breakouts. I did not get itchy. My skin feels better than ever. He goes, this is amazing stuff. He goes, can you do bath bombs? I'm like, all right, I'm going to keep on with the soap. I'm going to keep it going. I wound up doing some with goat's milk and stuff like that. So I have that. I said, as far as bath bombs, I refuse.
Yeah, when I say bath bombs have to be very
You have
tricky to make.
they are semi tricky to make. The reason why I refuse to make, and I hope I don't get punished for this, I don't want to make bath bombs is because you can literally go to Walmart or Amazon and buy the kit and make them yourself. Everybody makes bath bombs. I don't want to tap into that because it's so saturated. You can go to the store and buy your own, make your own, design your own. I don't want to take that away because I actually wound up buying that for, so we call them our sons. We semi-adopted them. They're our sons. They're part of our life, but they do have their own mother and father. But we call them our adopted sons. I wound up getting them both bath bomb making kits for Christmas 2 years ago because they love bath bombs. I'm like, well, I'm not doing that here. Here's a kit. They said they actually had a blast making them. And I don't want to take that away from people. So I told my son, I was like, I love you. I'm not doing bath bombs. I said, but I can do other things for you. He's like, what? I said, natural bath tea bags. He's like, what is that? And I explained to him, I can use Epsom salt or not. I put oats in it or not, depending, because some people have allergic to oats. But like my anti-inflammatory one that I designed has rose petals, calendula, chamomile. I'm pretty sure I slaughtered that word. Chamomile, eucalyptus, and I took parts of the flowers, they're dried flowers, they're dried plant parts, and I put them into a bag that when you're running your bath, you tie it underneath the faucet or just dip it in like a tea bag, and it'll swell them up and release all the essence from these plants into your bath water to allow you to be able to soak into it and not have to worry about cleaning up the mess or going down your drain. And it smells amazing and it works so good. And you can definitely tell the difference when you do soak in a tub with one of those. Of course, I had to try it because I also test all my products. I have a lot of medical issues. And so if my son tests it and he's good, and I test it and I'm good, then it gets released to my line.
I love it. It's nice to know that the owner of the company tests her own products before putting it out there on the market. That puts a smile on my face, because you don't hear that a lot from people who create their own products. It's usually they'll say, "Oh, it's not tested on animals," and then I sit here and think, well, why would you test this on animals if humans are using it?
That's always been my point. It's like, come on, why would you test it on a cat or a mouse or a rabbit when your child could be using it? The DNA is not even similar. It's apples, grapes, oranges. Yeah, that's why I test it. I have my son test it. My husband, he tests like all the men products and stuff. My son's like, I'll try anything. I'll test anything. I don't care. And then he actually takes a lot of my products and uses them on his patients, on the residents of his nursing home that he works at, because they are also sensitive skin. And so he makes sure that they are taken care of. And my friends and family, they're all test dummies, as I call them. Because I want to make sure that my product is good for anyone to use them. And if I have to keep testing on myself, my son, my friends, we're all for it, because I feel like I'm making a difference in providing a better, cleaner natural bath product for people.
And you're going to get true, honest feedback on it. They're going to let you know, yes, I like this one, or when you mix it with this, or once you put it in the water, the smell's not the same.
Yeah.
It's honest feedback rather than putting something out there on the market and then you're hearing from your customers, oh no, I didn't like that one because it says it's supposed to smell like this, but it doesn't. And then of course, you've already produced a whole bunch of it, so now you're like, gotta pull everything off, redo it again.
Yeah, and my friends and family know, you better tell me straight up honest truth, because if you lie to me, then you're lying to my customers. And I don't take time to that.
Yes.
And that'll make
word of
me
mouth is everything.
Yeah. And so they know, be flat out blunt, honest with me. Do you like it? I've had them come back going, no, this sucks. Do not do it. All right, cool. Thank you. And I'll redo it again, try it again.
The best way to go. Like I said, it's great that you have people that you can rely on to help you.
It does help.
Before you spend all this time and energy to put it out there. And this is where a lot of people can learn that from you, because as I've stated before, you have a lot of companies where they don't do that. They make something and they're like, I like it. I used it on me. It's fine. Let's put it out there.
Yeah. Well, they don't even do that. They're like, well, I know here's the recipe. I can use it. It'll work. It's fine. And then they automatically put it on the shelves and say, go with it. That's not fair to people. In my opinion, it's not.
And I'm pretty sure you do not change your ingredients in your products unbeknownst to the world, like other companies do. They just go and change. And I think that's a lot of problems with people, where they find out that they have these allergies because if they're used to a certain ingredient, a certain style of way something's made, and they continue to use that product for years because of course it works for them, then they up and change the ingredients, or they add something else into it or take something out. Now you have this reaction. I know for myself, I've sat there and I'm like, what is going on? What is wrong? I've honestly thought that there was something wrong with me. Mm-hmm. And then when I've done my research on it, I've found out, well, they changed the ingredients. And it's like, don't do that.
Yeah, it was a good thing. Why would you go and ruin it? And it's literally because it saves money in the long run, because it's all about the bottom number. That's all it's about. Mine is it's all about my customers. If I create a recipe, that recipe will be stuck in my books forever. If I grow to my expectations of being nationwide and have a manufacturing plant and all that, which is what my goal is, that recipe will follow all the way through because of people like you and me and my son and my family. You get used to this product. You were like, great, I finally found a product. I don't have a problem. I want you to have that available for however long you want to be my customer. It's plain and simple.
It's plain and simple. You guys all hear that? Plain and simple. Stick to your ingredients. Don't change them up.
Exactly.
Don't do that. It's a big no-no. Now, you were named top candle designer and owner of the year by IAOTP. Congratulations, because
Thank
I
you.
can just imagine what a big, huge accomplishment that is for you. How did that recognition feel, and what has it meant for you and your brand?
So when I got the call, I was first reaction, I'll be honest. I'm like, "Are you sure you called the right person?" I'm like, and she's like, "Yes, this is Jamie Ferriman, Brie Candles." And I'm like, "Yeah, that's me." And she's like, "We just wanted to congratulate you. You received this an award." And for the next 2 to 3 days, I walked around numb. I'm like, this can't be happening to me. I'm a simple girl in Texas, just basically trying to help people and keep her daughter's memory alive. That's all my goal was. And even to today, I don't understand why I've gotten it. No, go ask all my friends, customers, family. They can all tell you why. I don't see it. That's just me. But I am so truly honored and grateful beyond words that I did receive that. As far as for the company, it has definitely sparked a flame. I am getting a lot more attraction to my website. I'm getting talks more on social media. I've had articles, I've had magazines, I've had so many people reaching out that is finding out not only about me, but about Brie Candles. And that makes me so happy knowing that her story is getting out, her products, and to me, they are her products. They're getting out there. And that means I'll be able to help more people with candles, because a lot of people have COPD and stuff like that that they can't be around your store bought candles because they're made with paraffin wax and stuff like that. I use soy wax and beeswax. So that's natural. So those people can actually enjoy candles again, or all the bath products I've been making and coming out with. And now I spread that out to Paw Petty. It's called Positively Perfect, and it's my new pet line. And the first one I created was Paw Petty, and it is actually used on both cats and dogs alike. And I make sure there's only ingredients that is good for both, and it's natural ingredients. And so they're finding out about that because their pets are our babies. And so I get to help them out. And I'm getting to help so many people. And then, at the end of the year, once I find out all my sales, I get to make a donation to help even more people. And it's just by them awarding me top candle designer and owner of 2025, my world has lit up. And I can never thank them enough for giving me that honor.
When you make something that is truly amazing and you have a great reason behind it, why wouldn't people enjoy it? Knowing that
My
not
husband.
only are not only are they they're bringing a beautiful smelling product into their home, but they're also bringing a shared memory, because essentially that's what you're doing. You're sharing your memories of
Yeah.
Bridget with the world. So they're carrying a piece of Bridget with them into their home.
Yes.
For anybody that is, go ahead.
Yeah, sorry. For a moment. Yeah, and also by bringing her memory into their home, one, it also creates a memory if the scent doesn't bring a memory back to them.
Very true. That is very, very true. Now, with your candles, I have to ask this because when I buy candles, I love buying the ones that have the lid on them. I don't light my candles. I'm weird like that. I like the ones that have the lid on it. So when I pop off the lid, it fills the room and the home with the smell, and I don't have to worry about having that weird, like burnt smell after you blow out the candle. And I don't have to worry about like, oh my goodness, did I put out the candle before I leave the house or before I go to sleep?
Yeah. I've
Do
done
your
that.
candles come with that?
Yeah. So I actually have several different collections of candles that I do. The rose collection comes in a black tin, and it does have a lid for the 6 ounce and the 13 ounce. The Elijah collection it's the candles geared for men. They're actually, I found the terminology is called mandals. Those, yeah, okay. It still sounds odd for me to say, but yeah, it's called mandals, and those actually come in glass containers, little square glass containers. Those do not come with a lid, but one of the wonderful things, and you kind of touch base on it, is every single candle I make has several purposes behind it, but the main purpose is the aroma. There's nothing, personally, this is my personal belief, there is nothing worse than going to the store, opening that candle, having to shove your nose all the way into that candle to try to get a small hint of what it smells like. And you're like, ooh, I really like this. Let me take it home. Maybe if I burn it, it'll smell better. And you take it home and you don't even smell it. That makes me so furious. That's my personal pet peeve. That's just how I am. Even before I started making candles, I would, hate spending all this money on candles because I spent money on candles. I'm obsessed with them, but I can't use them. So I'd actually have to use them as decoration. I was like, oh, those are pretty kind of thing. But the way I took my passion and my biggest pet peeves on the aroma, and I made sure that with my candles, not only can you smell them while not lit, just as decorative, while you're walking by, you'll get a whiff of it, but you can also smell them stronger after lighting. Like my little 6 ounce candles, if you put them in your bathroom, you close the door, you walk away, you come back about an hour later, that room will smell like my candle without ever being lit.
Love that.
Yeah, that is my thing because I love using candles as decorations as well as you do. So why not smell them? And so that's why my everyday burn candles, as I call them, which is in the black containers and little square glass containers, are designed that way for everyday normal burn. And then I have my decorative 3D themed candles that go along with your decorations for whatever season, holiday, or whatever, and still just as strong to be able to smell while not lit because they're beautiful, they're decorative. So I wanted you to be able to smell them. That way you didn't have to light them.
I love that. And that makes me truly happy because again, I don't like burning candles only because I'm a very forgetful person to put them out.
Feel that very deeply. I'm the same way with wax burners too. It's like, did I turn that off? So yeah, I totally.
I've never owned a wax burner. I've enjoyed going into the store and smelling the little wax cubes. And to go back on what you said about having to stick your nose in the candle to smell it, yes, I've had to take the lid off and I'm like,
Yeah, you're like shoving your face up and you're going, what is that?
what is it? Yeah. That's like, "Oh, great. I have to burn it to get the smell." And I'm like, I don't want the candle, so I put it back. I don't want it. I
Yeah,
don't want to have to
exactly.
light it on fire. Now, if Bridget were with you in person, I have to make sure I emphasize in person because she is with you. She's with you spiritually. She's with
Oh,
you.
yes, she is. Yes, she is. She lets me know very well.
If she were standing or sitting, whichever, in the same room with you right now and could see what you have created in her honor, what do you think she would say besides going, "Hey,
One, she'd probably be upset because I made it all about her. She did not like the attention. So I am pretty sure she'd be upset with that. But if I was to remove her life and she just saw that I was making candles and bath products, she'd been here right with me this entire time. She was actually, before we lost her, about a year or two prior, she was so sorry for she was so hell bent is the best way to explain it on making products to grow her hair naturally, to make it grow stronger and better. She was allergic. Her and I have sweet blood. And basically, we attract mosquitoes. Like there could be a mosquito 5 miles away. We step outdoors, that thing is coming towards us and fast. They love us, and bugs just attract to us, and it's annoying because we used to live out in the country. And so she started learning like how to make natural bath, like oatmeal paste and stuff like that because of the bug bite. So she would be so ecstatic that I have taken her passion and taken it to the next level and knowing I'm helping people the way she wanted to help people. I would hope that she'd be proud of me. I
she
really
is
do.
proud of you."
I really do hope so. Some days I feel like she is. Some days I feel like she's trying to slap me across the face because I messed something up.
Hey, it happens. I'm pretty sure you have those days where you want to just face palm yourself. Why did I do that?
Usually just walk out of my candle room. I'm like, I'm walking away. I have messed it up. I am walking away. And then I come back either a couple hours later, a couple days later, and I'm like, all right, let's do this.
That's the best way to go about it rather than getting frustrated. You just got to take a step back and go, okay, let's think, gather our thoughts. We got this. Yeah. That's beautiful. Now, beside your website, you said that you also have a social media account. So if you could please share with the viewers how they can follow you on social media.
So I am on so many different platforms. Most of them are called Brie Candles or Brie Candle Shop. I'm on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, LinkedIn. I have a couple videos on YouTube. I just started on Pinterest. The best way would to be go to find all that information is go to my website at briecandleshop.com. Just go all the way down to the bottom and you'll see all my social media links. You'll also find all the articles that have been written about me down there and all the awards I've won so far.
How many awards have you won so far?
As of right
It's
now,
okay to brag about yourself.
so the other ones I don't really talk about just because I'm a very grounded individual and I don't really like bragging about myself because it's not about me, it's about her. And so I feel like I'm benefiting from her when I get these. And that's why I don't really claim them a lot. The one that is on there is the IAOTP. But I have actually won like what was that one? It's just little bitty awards. I don't know how really to explain them. It's like at different craft fairs, like, hey, this is, one of the top sellers, or, best creative tent or creative booth, or, biggest helper. It's just little ones like that. Those mean a lot to me because that is me personally. And I know that sounds kind of contradicting. It all is me, but I owe everything to her. So down at the bottom of my website, the one that I posted on there is the IOATP because I'm still in shock about that. But you can see the articles. I am in Who's Who of America. I'm in the Power of Women, I believe, edition. And then I have, I think, 4 or 5 article links down there that you can read. I have more magazine articles coming out. I have a lot of stuff going on right now that I'm very, very excited about, and I'm hoping one of them y'all will be able to see soon. I have a PR helping me on an event that I'm hoping will actually happen.
I think that is amazing. You know what? Don't ever feel, I think of the best way to put it, but you should be proud of your accomplishments. Don't hide behind it. And I get what you're saying, that, you don't want people to think that you're benefiting off of what happened to your daughter, because I don't see it as that way. I see it as you're doing something that you and your daughter enjoy doing together,
Thank you.
and you're
Because
keeping that up by
that's
still doing it, even though she's not here. So it's never I would never see it as that way. And anybody who thinks that, shame on you. Shame on you. Because that is not the case at all. Now, my last question for you, Jamie, is what advice would you give to someone who wants to build something beautiful out of loss?
Make sure it's right for you. Make sure you have the desire, you have the passion, you have the drive, you have the patience. Patience is your biggest tester. And make sure it's something you love. Because if you don't love it, you don't love to do it, you will never succeed, because you will not put in the passion, the drive, the hard work, everything that is required. If you don't love it, you won't do it.
That is beautiful. And it is definitely very, very true. And I just love that you have Brie on your website spelled out as beautiful, relaxing, irresistible.
Yes.
I'm going to take that as that is what, for someone who doesn't know Bridget like you do, by seeing this, I would take that as that's who Bridget was. She was beautiful, she was relaxing, and she was irresistible in all the good ways.
Yes. She was absolutely gorgeous. And I've heard that her entire life. She was so, as people would call, she was so down to earth. She loved animals. She loved people. She loved life. She had such a drive behind her. And the irresistible was her laughter. When she would laugh, the whole room would light up and laugh with her. And I wanted my products to resemble her.
And they're all beautiful. I'm looking at them right now. They are beautiful. I especially have to say, though, I love your I'd rather be candle.
That is getting some attention, and I love that it's getting attention.
It is, it's very pretty. We'll say that. That is definitely a decorative item. I would put that on a shelf and just let it sit there. That is gorgeous. Your Texas spring, lavender and lemonade. I love that it looks like a drink. Looking at this picture, it makes me want to pull it out of the screen and take a sip of it.
And it smells like it too. That's the dangerous part. There is one on there that I'm hoping that you can get to. It's under the Tiki's bar.
With the whiskey on the rock.
Yes, ma'am. That is my number one mandel that I cannot keep in stock. The moment I make a batch, it's gone within a week.
That's exactly what it looks like if you get it from a restaurant. That is the scary part.
Yeah.
In a good way.
It is very scary in a very good way.
It is gorgeous. And then, of course, the Kona coffee, a huge coffee drinker. So this is definitely and I love it. Cold brew with vanilla.
Yes. So the coffee shop, so I have coffee shop and then I did the cold brew with vanilla. The coffee shop. So Bridget actually worked at Starbucks She absolutely loved working at Starbucks. She was there for probably about a year before she moved on to being a CNA. And whenever you roll up through the drive-through and they open that window and you get that beautiful coffee aroma just slaps you in the face. That is exactly what that coffee smells like. That coffee shop candle smells just like that. I didn't believe it. I made it and I'm like, I had an order that I was actually delivering, and one of them was the coffee shop candle. And we went up to Starbucks because I love Starbucks. I'm not going to lie. And we rolled up, and that hit me. That aroma just hit me when they opened the door, and I went, "You've got to be kidding me!" My husband was like, "What?" And I pulled out that candle. I went, "What does that smell like?" And he goes, "That Starbucks." And I went, "Exactly." So I couldn't name it Starbucks. I had to go with this coffee shop. But yeah, it's that aroma. It's just, I love that smell. I actually made soap with
Upside
that smell too.
by seeing that.
Yeah.
So, my goodness, so many good things. I want to say that everyone, you definitely need to check out her website. And I love the fact that you make shower steamers. Those are
Yes.
the best.
I do absolutely love those. I never said I would make shower steamers. I said bath bombs. So I found a way around it.
Sugar scrubs and creams, perfume, colognes, the roll-on sticks, body butter stick. You are on a roll. Keep it up.
I'm trying. I'm trying.
That is amazing. I want to thank you for your time today, Jamie. You sharing your story behind Brie Candles, how it came about, your inspiration, your perseverance, pushing through, and you're remaining strong while also having your days, which you are allowed to do.
Yes, unfortunately.
I want
But
you to keep up doing what you are doing, because you are doing an amazing thing. Not only are you producing something that smells amazing, looks amazing, but you're doing it for a really good reason. You're keeping that memory alive, and you're sharing that memory with the world so others can take in that memory and then also create a memory of their own.
yeah, that's the whole, just basically giving back, keeping her memory alive and giving back. That's basically my vision. And I am truly honored and grateful to actually have this interview with you. It's been a wonderful experience. Thank you.
And again, I want to thank you for being on and sharing it, because you are truly an inspiration to all. And I want everyone to make sure that you check out briecandleshop.com and order yourself some amazing candles and soaps, perfumes, cream. Get the tea bag. I'm definitely going to have to get myself a couple of those. Take a nice tea bag bath. This has been the conclusion of the Summit Sessions podcast. I'm your host, Katelyn Natalie Laurent. This was the wonderful Jamie Ferriman. You all have a great rest of your evening.
Thank you.